For this course, I thought I'd do something a little different regarding rigging the character and animation. Since this character is going into a game engine, the Unity game engine, I figured we'd kind of reverse engineer the rig so that we can use Unity's built-in animations and the hundreds, if not thousands, of animations available on the web and through the Unity Asset Store. The key is to create a rig that can be used in Unity's Mechanim animation system. If we can get our rig to be configured as a humanoid in Unity, then we can apply animations from all kinds of sources, including motion capture, the animations that come with Unity's standard assets, and animation packs that we can purchase on the Unity Asset Store. So, let's take a look at how we might do that. Instead of using the rigs here in Blender, if I press Shift-A and go to Armature, I can see the different rigging systems that Blender has. There's the BlendRig 5, and that's a great rig for animation here in Blender, but really doesn't work very well for video games. There's the Human Meta Rig, which is the combination of the old Rigify system with the Pitchypoi system. It works okay, but there are problems with the bone rolls and orientations if you're trying to take it into Unity and set it up as a humanoid. And then there are these other rigs here for animals and the older rigs as well. But instead of using all of those, I'd like to create one of my own that I know is going to work very well with the Unity humanoid rig. So let's go into Unity and see if we can kind of, as I said, reverse engineer this to create the rig we know we're going to need. So I'm going to go to Unity, and if I open up Unity and go to New, I get this screen. I'm going to create a 3D project here, and I'll put it on my desktop. I'll call it Character Test, and I'll hit Create Project. Now, here in Unity, I want to take a look at some of the animations that Unity comes with as part of its standard assets. So to do that, down here in the Assets folder, I'll right-click and I'll go to Import Package. And right down here, I'll choose Characters. So let's choose that. And once this import screen comes up, I'll just click Import, and that will import all of the character assets. All right, now that I've got that, I've got a new folder here in the Assets folder called Standard Assets, and in here I have a folder called Characters. So if I open that up, I've got this third-person character. That's the one we want. You can also do a first-person character controller, but we've created our character to be seen, so I'm going to go into the third person here, and under this folder we want to go to Prefabs. Now we've got this third-person controller right here, and if I click on it, you can see it's got a character model that comes with it. I can press Alt and click and drag and tumble around this like this. Well, let's go ahead and bring it into our scene now. I'll click and drag this and drag it into the hierarchy, and there it is. Now, you can see that it comes in with all these different components and scripts, and that's good because that allows us to just go ahead and bring our character in without having to write a lot of code. Now, if I clicked play here, he would just fall through the floor because, well, there is no floor. If I hit play, there he goes. So we don't want that. We want him to be able to have a ground to stand on. So I'll just click to deselect them, and I'll come up here to Game Object, 3D Object, and I'll create a plane. There we go. Now I'll come over here and make sure that the position is 0, 0, 0, and it is. And I'll also maybe increase the scale. Maybe in the X I'll increase this up to 20, and maybe in the Z I'll increase this up to 20 as well, just so it's a fairly large area for him to run around on. So if I click play now, there he is, way off in the distance. And I can use the WASD keys on the keyboard to move him around. So I can hit S and D and have him run over here. There we go. There he is. So you can see he's got an idle animation. He's got run animations, walk animations if you press the Shift key. He's also got a crouch animation if you hit the C key, and he can also move while crouched, like that. And he has a jump if you hit the spacebar. So we can take all of these animations and use them on our custom character. But to do that, we need to pretty much match the kind of rig that he has. So how do we do that? Well, if we go back into our third-person character folder and take a look at the models, I'll open that up. We can select the Ethan character, and now under the rig panel, we've got model, rig, animation, and materials. If we look at the rig panel, we've got this configure button here. If I click on that and click save, let's give this scene a name. I'll just call this test scene 01. Now we can see here's the rig of the character. You can see it has hips, spine, chest, upper chest, bones for the left arm, right arm, and scroll down here for the legs. If I click on head here, you can see it's got a head bone, the possibility of a neck bone. It also has eye and jaw bones, but the little dotted line around the circle here, as you can see, is for optional bones. We don't have to have those. And of course we have the left hand and the right hand, and you can see that each one of the fingers and thumb has 3 bones. So our main task then, if we want to be able to apply these kinds of animations to our character, is to create a rig that will match and configure with the Unity humanoid avatar. So that's what we're going to do. In the next video, we'll go back to Blender and we'll begin creating the rig based on what we've learned here.